Du studierst? Dann warten vielleicht 4.000 € beim Finanzamt auf dich. Ja, richtig gehört. Und wir zeigen dir in unserem Steuerseminar, wie das Geld ganz schnell wieder auf deinem Konto landet. Als Studi kannst du nämlich bis zu 4 Jahre rückwirkend deine Steuererklärung machen. Wenn man bedenkt, dass man jedes Jahr im Schnitt 1.000 € zurückbekommt, kann man da schon auf eine stabile Summe kommen. An deiner Stelle Du studierst, dann warten vielleicht 4.000 € beim Finanzamt auf dich.
sollte Ihre
Ja,
Teams
richtig
nicht
gehört. Und wir zeigen dir in unserem
Es sollte
Steuerseminar, wie
Ihre
das Geld ganz schnell
Arbeitsweise
wieder auf deinem Konto landet. Als Studi
Ein
kannst du nämlich bis zu
CRM-System
4
sollte
Jahre
Ihren
rückwirkend
Workflow
deine
nicht
Steuererklärung
blockieren.
machen.
Es
Wenn man
sollte ihn
bedenkt, dass man jedes
optimal
Jahr im Schnitt
unterstützen.
1.000 € zurückbekommt, kann man da schon auf eine stabile Summe kommen. An deiner Stelle würde ich das Geld nicht liegen lassen. Also melde dich jetzt kostenlos an, hol dir alle wichtigen Infos online in nur 2 Stunden.
Hello everybody, my name is Wardia and I'm working as a business intelligence developer and also IT trainer, freelance basis. So here I'll be starting with the first tutorial on
Du studierst, dann warten
Microsoft
vielleicht
Excel.
4.000 € beim Finanzamt auf dich.
sollte Ihre
Ja,
Teams nicht
richtig gehört. Und wir zeigen dir in unserem Steuerseminar, wie das Geld ganz schnell wieder auf deinem Konto landet. Als Studi
Ein
kannst du nämlich bis zu
CRM-System
4
sollte
Jahre
Ihren
rückwirkend
Workflow
deine
nicht
Steuererklärung machen. Wenn man bedenkt, dass man jedes Jahr im Schnitt 1.000 € zurückbekommt, kann man dann schon auf eine stabile Summe kommen. An deiner Stelle würde ich das Geld nicht liegen lassen. Also melde dich jetzt kostenlos an, hol dir alle wichtigen Infos online in nur 2 Stunden.
So let us go to our presentation. So first of all, we'll be talking about what is a spreadsheet, because as you know that Microsoft Excel is also known as a spreadsheet. It is an example. So here I'll be starting with the first tutorial.
Du studierst, dann warten vielleicht 4.000 € beim Finanzamt auf dich.
sollte Ihre
Ja,
Teams
richtig
nicht
gehört. Und wir zeigen dir in unserem Steuerseminar, wie das Geld ganz schnell wieder auf deinem Konto landet. Als Studi
Ein
kannst du nämlich bis zu
CRM-System
4
sollte
Jahre
Ihren
rückwirkend
Workflow
deine
nicht
Steuererklärung machen. Wenn man bedenkt, dass man jedes Jahr im Schnitt 1.000
over here. So whenever we want to put the data in a table which is consisting of rows and columns, so that kind of thing is known as a spreadsheet. Data in a spreadsheet can be numeric values as well as text, formulas, references and functions. So as we know that in case of Microsoft Excel also, we can insert the numbers, text, dates, currencies, we can put the formulas, we can give some references. Yeah, we'll be also talking in the further videos about the various kind of references available in Microsoft Excel, and then we'll be also focusing on the function, because functions are very important in Microsoft Excel. You should have a good grip on functions. So that is, all these things are covered in this spreadsheet. Now the various examples of spreadsheet are, the very famous example is Lotus 123. I don't know that how many of you have heard about Lotus 123. So Lotus 123 was one of the oldest spreadsheet software. It was very popular in, you can say, 70s and 80s. And this Lotus 123 was a product of IBM, and before Microsoft Excel, this was the product that people were using. We are having Lotus 123, then we are having Microsoft Excel, Google Sheet. Nowadays Google Sheet is very popular, and definitely you must be knowing the basic difference between the Google Sheet and Microsoft Excel, so that we'll cover in the other video. So these are the 3 popular examples of spreadsheet. Definitely Microsoft Excel is the popular tool over here. Everybody is talking about Microsoft Excel. Everybody is using Microsoft Excel. So Microsoft Excel is one of the most widely used spreadsheet, and definitely it is covered in the Microsoft Office suite. Most common uses of spreadsheet are to create budget. Yeah, when this spreadsheet started, the main focus of the spreadsheet was on the accounting and finance department. Okay, so the majorly these 2 departments, they were using this spreadsheet, and they wanted to create some budgets, create some financial statements. We are having the profit and loss account, and then the balance sheet, and then it is also used for creating the charts and graphs. As we know that in case of Microsoft Excel also, we can create the charts and graphs, and plus we are also using the same spreadsheet for storing the data. So these are the common uses of spreadsheet. Now within the business scenario also, we are using the spreadsheet for forecasting the future values, future performance. We are using it for calculating the taxes and calculating the payroll within the company. It is also used for creating the charts and calculating the revenues. Now this is all about the spreadsheet. What is spreadsheet and what we can use in spreadsheet, or how we can use in spreadsheet. So here we are having a brief introduction about spreadsheet and what we can do in spreadsheet. Now let us go to our main tool that is known as Microsoft Excel. As we know that Microsoft Excel is one of the most popular tool available in the data analytics market. It has been considered as the world standard because whenever a new tool is coming up, whenever a new spreadsheet is coming up, then they are definitely having the focus on the Microsoft Excel, that what are the features which are available in Microsoft Excel and how we can incorporate into our spreadsheet software. So Microsoft Excel, as we know that it's also an electronic spreadsheet program used for storing, organizing and manipulating the data. Whenever we are entering the data into Microsoft Excel, then we are having the cell, and a cell is consisting of rows and columns. So that we'll see further in the practical part in the next video. Data can be text, numbers, formulas, it can be date also. Formulas are used to calculate the data found in other cells. So we know that there are, in case of Microsoft Excel, we are having a lot of functions and formulas, and we use those things to do some calculations here. I always say that we have to be very much proficient in the various functions which are available in Excel. Microsoft originally marketed a spreadsheet program called Multiplan in 1982. So before Microsoft Excel came, the Microsoft company, they launched a tool which was known as Multiplan, and they launched in 1982. That Multiplan was also a spreadsheet program. Problem with this Multiplan was this, that Multiplan was very popular in Europe, but in US it was very well overtaken by the Lotus 123. Now, just to tell you that Lotus 123 is a software from IBM. So I don't know whether still it is currently available or not. Maybe you can write down the comment section that whether this Lotus 123 is still available or not. This Multiplan software could not withstand the popularity of Lotus 123. That's why it was totally a failure product from Microsoft. Then came Excel. So after Multiplan was a failure, Microsoft launched Excel. The first version was known as Excel 1.0. Very surprising, it was released for the Apple Macintosh. They were not having the first version of Windows. They were having the first version for the Microsoft Excel. First version was for the Mac people, and it was launched in 1985. And the first Windows version was released in November 1987. So almost after 2 years, the Windows version was launched of Microsoft Excel. Now, let us see that what are the various uses of Microsoft Excel. This is here, I'm giving you a brief idea. So Microsoft Excel, as I've already mentioned earlier, that is used for doing some mathematical calculations and you have to find some values, create some kind of formula. We want to find some average, sum, count, mean, max, percentage, etc. As we know that Microsoft Excel, it's having an immense feature. Okay, there are a lot of features which are available in Microsoft Excel, and I don't know whether you have seen that book on Microsoft Excel. It is known as Microsoft Excel Bible. So I remember my MBA days when I saw that particular book in my library, and it was
New Beginnings. Weil jeder Schritt der Anfang von etwas Großem ist. Back to School mit Deichmann. Top-Marken ab 69,99. Liebe den Schuh und den Preis. Deichmann.
Ich möchte Ihr Haus kaufen. Ich kann Ihnen Bargeld für Ihr Haus zahlen, egal in welchem Zustand es ist. Wenn Sie Ihr Haus aus
very, very thick. Today also, if you search on various platforms, so you will be seeing the Microsoft Excel Bible. Sometimes it's very, very difficult to go through all the pages of that book. So I would say that even in Microsoft Excel, if you are having, let's say, just 30 to 40% of the knowledge of Microsoft Excel, I think so it is still you are considered as a guru in Microsoft Excel, because covering all the 100% of Microsoft Excel, I would not say that it's impossible, but yes, it is not so easy. So Microsoft Excel is also used for the charts, graphs. It is also used as a database where we can store the data, where we can clean the data. There is also a separate section in Microsoft Excel which is known as Power Query. That also I'll be covering in the future videos, that what kind of thing that we can do in Power Query, what kind of data cleaning, data transformation we can do in Microsoft Excel. So that we'll see in the further videos. Now, when we are talking about Microsoft Excel, then we are also having these various terminologies. So we are having terminologies like workbook and worksheet. So what is workbook and what is worksheet? So in Excel, we perform work in a workbook. So whenever we open a Microsoft Excel file, that file is known as a workbook. Now within the workbook, we may have various worksheets. Okay, so whatever the sheets that we are having in Microsoft Excel in a particular workbook, they are known as worksheet. So here it is said that we can have as many workbooks open as we need, and each one appears in its own window. So if we are opening 3-4 workbooks, then they will open up in different windows, and we can simultaneously work with those different workbooks I'm talking about, not worksheet. The Excel workbook is having the extension .xlx, okay, XLSX. Earlier it was known as .xls. Now it is having the extension .xlsx. So that is the file extension for the current Microsoft Excel file. Each workbook contains one or more worksheet. So as I said earlier, that we are having different worksheets, and those worksheets are part of a particular workbook. Each worksheet consists of individual cells, so there are so many cells. Each cell can contain a number, formula, text, date. A worksheet also has an invisible drawing layer which holds charts, images and diagrams. So this is also a very good feature in Microsoft Excel, that if I want to paste a particular chart, if I want to paste an image, if I want to paste some kind of a diagram, then that is also possible in case of Microsoft Excel. Yeah, so that will be coming up in the future videos on Microsoft Excel. So stay tuned, because this Microsoft Excel is one of the most important tool in the data analytics. Yeah, I have been conducting a lot of trainings, especially whenever I'm discussing with the students, the university students. Then I always say that you have to have a good command on Microsoft Excel. Even let's say you are learning Microsoft Power BI, Tableau, Looker Studio, MicroStrategy, but I would say that the knowledge of Microsoft Excel is very, very important. It is used by all the companies, including I have seen in case of German companies also, they are still using Microsoft Excel, even though the latest tools have come up here. But I would say that you should be having a good command on Microsoft Excel. So one by one, you can go through these videos which are part of this tutorial and try to gain knowledge out of it, and try to do a lot of practice, because practice makes man perfect. So please do a lot of practice and have a good grip on Microsoft Excel. Now each worksheet in the workbook is accessible by clicking the tab at the bottom of the workbook. So we'll also see practically what I mean by these particular two things. But as you must have seen that in the case of Excel, at the bottom area we are having sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, etc. So this is what we are talking about. So we can click on the various tabs at the bottom of the workbook, and then I can go from sheet 1 to sheet 2 to sheet 3 and so on. So this is the brief idea about the workbooks and the worksheets. See, when you open the Microsoft Excel, so I'm having the Microsoft 365 version. I always say that you should be having the latest version of Microsoft Excel. If you are having, let's say, very old versions like Excel 2010 or 2013 or 2016, then please try to replace that old version with a new version. And if you are able to manage, then please try to go for the Microsoft 365. Yeah, Microsoft 365, you know that it's having the monthly subscription, so you can pay for it, and it is very, very nominal. Yeah, just try to take it as an investment. So please try to go for the latest version of Microsoft Excel, and whatever I'll be showing you, those various functions, there are a lot of new functions which are coming up in Microsoft Excel, and those functions are always available in the Microsoft 365 version. If you are opening the old file, old version, then definitely you will not find those functions. So this is the screenshot of the Microsoft 365 Excel. When you open the Microsoft Excel, then you get this first screen of Microsoft Excel, and here you can see the blank workbooks. We'll be also seeing the various templates in the practical part in the next video. So this is the first screen of Microsoft Excel. When we click on this blank workbook, then this main screen comes over here in the Microsoft Excel. Just now we'll see the theoretical part here in this particular presentation, and then we'll be focusing on the practical part. So here we are having the quick access toolbar that we'll see. We are having the various tabs, the ribbons. Yeah, we are having the title bar over here, formula bar is over here. We are having the search functions. Whenever you want to find a particular feature in Microsoft Excel, and sometimes it's very difficult to find in these various tabs. So what you can do, you can use this search facility over here. So that also we'll see practically. Then we are having here the ribbons and window controls, collapsing, the ribbon button, etc. This is the main area, the sheet, where we are having the cell is consisting of the rows and columns, sheet tabs here, status bar. If we want to create a new sheet, then we have to click this plus sign over here. These are the page view buttons, horizontal scroll bar, vertical scroll bar. Here we can zoom the Microsoft Excel sheet. Yeah, so this is a good amount of overview about the main screen of Microsoft Excel. So with that, I would like to end this particular video, and in this video we have seen a good introduction about Microsoft Excel. We have talked about the history of Microsoft Excel, how it started, and then what are the initial features about Microsoft Excel. Now in the next video, we'll be starting with the practical part, and then we'll be seeing the main screen, the first screen. We'll be seeing how to enter the data. We'll be seeing how to create the various tabs and ribbons in Microsoft Excel and other things. So stay tuned and see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Hello friends. Welcome to this video on the two major functions of Excel that is known as isError and ifError. So both these functions are very important if you want to check the errors. So let us start with the video. So here we'll be talking about these two functions, that is isError and ifError. Here it says that both isError and ifError are the functions in Microsoft Excel which are used to handle errors, but they work slightly different. So both are almost doing the same thing, but they are slightly different. So we'll also see the differences between the isError and the ifError. First of all, we'll start with the isError function. So what is the purpose of isError function? It checks whether a formula results in an error. So in case of Excel, we are having various kind of error. Let's say one of the error is division by 0. Another error is not available. Then the third error is value, and so on. Okay. So if we want to check whether this formula will result in an error, then we want to check it with the isError function. It returns true if there is an error, otherwise it is false. Often combined with if statement to display the custom results when errors occur. So we use the isError function with the if function. The syntax of the isError is equal to isError bracket value. So here in the value we can put the expression or any cell to check whether that cell is containing the error or not. So we can also put here the cell reference here within this isError function. Now let us see the example of isError, and then you will be clear with this function. So let's say here we are having the numerator and we are having the denominator. So now I want to divide this numerator by the denominator. So here I'll be writing the formula with the help of the isError. It says you are dividing numbers, but some denominators are 0. You can see that these two denominators are 0. Now see, anything divided by 0 will give you the division by 0 error or divide by 0 error. So here it says you want to show error instead of the Excel error message. So normally if we don't take care of this error, then Excel will show us the error. But we don't want to see that error. We want to see in a proper manner. So now here in this cell, that is D35, I'll be typing the formula equal to, I'll start with the if function, because as I said earlier that normally the isError is written with the if function. So I type with if function equal to if, press tab. Now we have to write down the logical test. So in the logical test, I'll write down here isError. Inside the if function, we write down the isError function. Now what we want to do here, we want to go for the division. That is 100 divided by 5. So isError bracket. Now here I'll be taking this cell, that is B35, which is the numerator, slash for division. And then I take this C35 bracket complete. Okay. So this is my logical test. So now this isError, what it will do, that it will check whether this B35 is divided by C35, whether it is giving you an error or not. If it is giving an error, then it shows you that error. So here after this logical test, I put comma, and now here I'll be writing, let's say if it is showing you some error, then it should give me some message like error. Okay. So if this is true, isError bracket B35 divided by C35, if it is true, if it is giving some error, then it should show me this message error. Otherwise, it should just show me the value. Okay, so let's say here 100 divided by 5, it will give me the answer 20. So it should just show me the answer here. So comma, and then I write down here B35 slash C35 bracket complete. If this division will give me an error, then it will show me this message error. Otherwise, it will just show me the value B35 divided by C35. So that's all. Press enter, and now you see here that we are getting here the answer 20. Now what we'll do, that we'll drag the formula down, and when we drag the formula down, now see here we can get the error, and here also we get the error. So at both the places we are getting the error message, because here we are getting the denominator which is equal to 0, and here also it is 0. So it is anything divided by 0 will give you the error. So this is how we are using the isError function. to check the error. Now we come to the if error function. So in the if error function, it says here that what is the purpose here? Simplifies error handling. So we'll see the difference also between the is error and if error, but normally the if error, it simplifies the error handling. Then it returns a specified value if a formula results in an error, otherwise return the formula's result. It was introduced in Excel 2007 and newer. So here also you can say that if error is also checking the error. If there is an error, it will show you that message if you want to show some message like say error message, or it will show you the value if there is no error. So now here we are having this syntax that is equal to if error bracket. You have to put up the value. Value means it can be a formula or expression to evaluate. And then if there is some error here which is created by that formula or expression, then we can show here some kind of a message that there is an error, so that people can see that okay, when they see the message there is an error, so they will get some idea here. Value if error means the result to return if there is no error. So now let us understand with an example. So here I am taking the same example which I have taken above, but here what we'll be doing, we'll be directly typing the if error. So I write down here equal to if error. Now in the if error, I have to put the expression or formula. So what I want to do, I want to take this cell divided by this cell. So B72 divided by C72, comma. Now if there is an error here because of this expression, then it should show me here message. It should show me some message here, error, bracket complete. So you see here that this if error function, it is much more simpler to write compared to the is error function. So equal to if error bracket, whatever the thing that you want to do here. Here we want to do the division, this B72 divided by C72, and if it creates an error, then it should show me the error message here like this. Otherwise it will directly do the calculation here. So I press enter, and now here we get the 20 because it is 100 divided by 5. It will give you directly the answer 20. There is no error. But when I drag the formula down, then here you can see that we are having the error message because it is having denominator equal to 0. This is how we are using the if error. Just compare this formula with the if error formula. So if error formula is very, very short compared to the is error. And for if error, we don't require any if function. We can directly type the if error function, but for is error normally we write down with the if function. Now let us finally see the differences between the is error and the if error. So is error plus if function, we go for the combination. So that is the older system, while the if error is much more simpler. Is error plus if function, it requires two functions combined as we have seen earlier, while if error, it requires only one function, that is the if error function. Is error plus if, it works in all Excel versions, while if error, it is available from Excel 2007, but we don't have to worry because currently we are in 2025. So in all the Excel versions that we use currently, it will work. Okay, but the minimum version that you should have is Excel 2007. The is error plus if is more flexible for complex logic, while if error is easier and faster to write. That is what we have seen in the example also. It is very, very short, very simple, and it is also easier to write and faster to write. That is the if error function. So friends, here we have seen the differences between the is error and the if error. Normally I would suggest you to write down the if error function when you are having a choice, but it depends. Whenever you are having some kind of a complex logic, then you can also use the is error function. Now in the next video, I'll be talking about the not function, and also I'll be discussing another function known as if and a. If and a. So see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Hello friends. In continuation with the previous video where I talked about the two functions that is known as is error and the if error. Now in this video I'll be talking about two more functions, two more logical functions that is known as not function and the if and a function. So let us see practically that what are these two functions and how we can use it in the Microsoft Excel. So first of all, we'll be talking about the not function. So the not function in Microsoft Excel is a logical function that reverses the logical value of its argument. Now let us understand that what do you mean by reversing the logical value. So here it says if the argument is true, then not will return false. If the argument is false, then not function will return true. So whatever is available in the solution, not function will just make it reverse. It is mainly used when you want to test the opposite of a condition. So here I'm giving one very simple example, that is we are having here true in this cell and false in this cell. So here I write down equal to not, press tab, And in the not function, we have to use the logical. So I'll select this cell here, that is B17 cell, bracket complete, press enter. So see, now what we are getting here, we are getting the answer here false. So not of true is equal to false. And now here in this cell, if I type equal to not, press tab, and if I select this cell, that is B18 cell, bracket complete, press enter. So not of false is true. So whatever is available here, it will just make it opposite. So true will become false and false will become true. This is the simplest example of not function. But now let us go further here. So here we are having a scenario where you want to display fail if a student score is not greater than or equal to 50. That is, if the marks of the students are less than 50, then the student will be failing. If it is more than 50, then he or she will be passing. We'll take this example where we are having the students and their marks are written out of 100. Now here we'll be using the combination of not function and the if function. In this cell, that is D34, I'll be typing here equal to if, press tab, and now I have to write down the logical test. So I'll be writing here not function, bracket, and then I'll be selecting this cell here, that is C34, and I have to check whether C34 is greater than or equal to 50, because we want to check the marks whether they are greater than or equal to 50. If it is greater than or equal to 50, then the result will be pass. If it is less than 50, then the result will be fail. Now see here what I'm doing, I'm not simply writing if C34 is greater than or equal to 50. What I'm typing here, first of all, before this C34, I'm typing here not. So not of greater than or equal to 50. So if your marks are not greater than or equal to 50, then what should be the result here? I put here comma, and what will be the result here? It will be fail. Okay, just understand this thing that we are putting here not function. If I would have kept here directly if bracket C34 greater than or equal to 50, then I would have written here first of all pass and then fail. Yeah, but here we are writing this is not. So whatever is written in this bracket, we are just taking its opposite. So if the student marks are not greater than or equal to 50, what should be the result? The result has to be fail, comma, and now if this is false, yeah, if it is not greater than or equal to 50 means it will be greater than or equal to 50. So if this is greater than or equal to 50, then the result will be pass. And see here I'm writing fail and pass into double quotes. This I've already talked about in the if function. So if you have not seen that video, please check out that video separately. So here I've completed the bracket, and now this is how we use the not function. So not function will take opposite of this, whatever is written in the bracket. So equal to if bracket not bracket C34, that is this score, if it is greater than or equal to 50, if it is not greater than or equal to 50, then it should be fail, and otherwise it should be pass. I press enter. So see, this is pass because it is greater than or equal to 50, and now I drag the formula down like this, and now here I'm getting fail because this is 40. Here also I'm getting fail because it is 30, while rest we are having here pass, pass, pass. So friends, this is how we will use the not function. Normally we use the not function along with the if function. So let us go further here now. So we'll take now the second function here in this video, that is if NA function. Now what is this if NA? The if NA function in Microsoft Excel is used to handle the NA error specifically. Okay, so not available error. It lets you return a custom value when a formula results in not available while leaving other errors unchanged. So here we'll be writing like this, the syntax of this if NA equal to if NA bracket, we'll be putting some formula or expression, and if this formula expression is returning a specifically NA error, then we can mention here that what we want to show as a message. Okay, earlier in the is error and if error, we put the error message as error. So here also we can put some error message if this formula or expression is returning some NA value. Now here it says when to use if NA. When you use formulas like VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, match function, and the value you are searching for isn't found. So normally we use also this if NA function with the VLOOKUP function and the HLOOKUP or match function. After these logical functions, I'll be creating separate videos on VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, match function, index function. Okay, so we'll be having the separate things. So there also I'll be showing you this example of if NA. when you want to display a custom message, example not found, instead of showing NA. Because see, normally whenever we see these kind of error NA as the final result, we don't like this thing. So instead of NA, we can also have some kind of a message that is not found or missing value or whatever. Yeah, so this is how we are using the if NA function. Now let us take one example here. So here we are going with the same example that we have taken in the earlier video in the is error and if error. So here I want to divide the numerator by the denominator, but here we'll be using the if NA. And also you can see that some of these denominator, they are not having any value. They are having this NA in the denominator. So definitely when you are having NA in the denominator, then definitely here will be by default will be getting the NA error. But we don't want to see the NA error. We want to see some kind of message. So let us type here the formula. So here in this cell, that is D73, I type here equal to if NA bracket. Now I have to put the formula here. So I'll select this B73 slash C73. So 100 I have to divide by 5, comma. Now if this B73 divided by C73, if one of the value is not having the value, that is it is not available, then what I want to see as a error message, missing value. Okay, I can write down here missing value, or I can write down here data missing in the double quote. Remember that this double quote, because we are typing here the text, so we have to put double quotes. So in the double quotes, I have written here data missing, bracket complete, and that's all. Okay, now again I'm repeating in this particular video that here I have put semicolon, but in your Excel version you have to put comma, because I'm using the German version, so I'm putting here semicolon, okay, and not comma, but you have to put comma here. So equal to if NA bracket B73, that is numerator divided by denominator. If there is some problem with the NA error, then it should show us this message data missing. Press enter. So here we get the answer 20. This is correct. Yeah, 100 divided by 5, it will give you the result 20. Now I drag the formula down, and now here I'm getting that message data missing, because here I'm having that no value. Okay, it is having NA. So that's why here I don't want to see that NA. I want to see this message data missing. So immediately this will come up in my eye, and I can see that okay, what is the problem here? This is where we are using this if NA. Now let us see here the difference between the if NA and the if error. So in the previous video I also talked about that if error. Please check out the video. The link I put up over here on the top. If NA, it handles only the NA error, just NA error. If you are having any other errors like this division by 0 or value error, then it will not check. That is this if NA. While if error, this if error function can check all the errors, including the NA error also. Okay, so if error is much more stronger or much more powerful than the if NA. If NA is better when you want to ignore only the NA errors, but still see other errors useful for debugging. So I would suggest that rather than using the if NA, you can go for the if error, because if error function will take care of all the errors. But here I wanted to show you one example of if NA. Now finally, you must have seen these two errors also, division by 0. What is division by 0? If you are having 0 in the denominator, then definitely it will give you the error, that is you cannot divide by 0. Anything divided by 0 is infinite. So that is what we mean by this division by 0 error. Now what is this value error? If you don't know about this value error, then let me explain you this value error. So the value error in Microsoft Excel occurs when there is a wrong data type used in a formula or function. Meaning Excel cannot perform the calculation because it expects a number, text or other valid data type, but receives something incompatible. Now see, this is a very long definition. Let us see it by example, and then it will be clear for you. So let's say here I'm adding these two values, A1 plus B1. Now A1 cell is containing 5, which is a number, and B1 cell is containing this text, which is known as hello. Now see, you cannot add the number with the text. Okay, it has to be number with number. So whenever you are having these kind of situation, and when you go for this kind of addition, then definitely you'll be getting the value error whenever the two things are not having the same data type. So then you'll be getting the value error. So remember this value error. Okay, I felt that you may not be having this idea about this value error, so that's why I covered this value error in this particular video. So I hope that this not function and the if and a function is clear. Now we'll continue further with the more logical functions in the upcoming videos. See you in the next video. Thank you very much.
Asana unterstützt Sie bei der Verwaltung sämtlicher Arbeitsvorgänge. Jetzt kostenlos testen. Wie sieht dein Traumurlaub aus? Relaxen? Andere Länder und lokale Küche entdecken in über 80 TUI Blue Hotels. Oder Sportspaß und All-Inclusive mit TUI Magic Life? Finde jetzt dein Traumhotel bei TUI.
Open, save, email, quick print, print preview and print, spelling, undo, redo, sort.
Ralf Schumacher. Du willst wissen, wie viel dein Auto wert ist? Auf wirkaufendeinauto.de erhältst du den Top-Verkaufspreis.
Hello everybody, my name is Samir Rohatia. In this particular channel on Analytics Advisors, I'm creating videos on various data analytics tools like Microsoft Excel, Power BI, Tableau, Looker Studio, MicroStrategy and other tools. I've created this tutorial on Microsoft Excel, and this is the second video on Microsoft Excel. And in this tutorial I would like to show you that in this Microsoft Excel you must have seen that we are having various tabs, and all those tabs are having the ribbons. So do you know that you can create your own tab and your own ribbon? Maybe if you are not knowing, then let us see in this video. So be in this video till the end, and I'll be showing you this very good feature of Microsoft Excel where you can create your own tab and your own ribbon into it. We will start with first of all an overview about this Microsoft Excel. What are the default tabs and ribbons that we are having? First of all, we'll see what is quick access toolbar, how we can customize it, and then we'll be also seeing the other features over here. So let us start. So here, when you open this Microsoft Excel, then we are having here the first screen of Microsoft Excel, and then we can see here the blank workbook. Before I click the blank workbook, I would like to show you these various templates which are already available in Microsoft Excel. Here I'm using the German version of Microsoft Excel, so you can see that these are some of the templates. The names are written in German. So let's say if I want to go for a personal budget, so I can click on this personal monthly budget. If I click on this template, then it will tell me that okay, you want to create it. So I can click on create button here, and then now here, sorry that it is in German, but yeah, you can see some of the things which are already created here by Excel. So I can start directly using this format, and then I can save a lot of time. Yeah, so the main use of the template is that it can save a lot of time. So you check this various templates that we are having over here. So check all these various templates. If you want to see more templates, you can click on these more templates over here, and then you can see here the various kind of templates, which are personal templates. You can also have the planner and tracker, some budgets also you are having. If I click on these budgets here, then these are all the various budget formats which are available. I can click on back here. If I click on persönlich, that is the personal tab which are available, the templates which are available here. So these are the various templates. Let's say family budget if you want to create. Yeah, so check this thing. Yeah, calendar if you want to create for family. There are a lot of templates which are available here, and please use those templates. If you're having a very specific requirement, then first of all check these templates over here. If it is available, you can directly start using it. You can also customize this template as I've shown you, and then you can save a lot of time. Now what we'll do that we will click on this blank workbook, and then we are having the main screen of this Microsoft Excel here. First of all, when you open the main window of Excel, then you can see that here we are having the default tabs. These are known as tabs. So we are having the file, home, insert, draw, page layout, formulas, data, review, view, automate. Now see some of the tabs I'm having specifically. I'm using these tabs for my various assignments. So some of the tabs you may not have in your Excel file. One by one I'll be showing you in further videos that how to get these other tabs over here. So don't worry if you are not having some of the tabs. I will demonstrate you in the future videos. So I'm having here automate, developer, add-ins, help, acrobat, and power pivot. Yeah, this Power Pivot is also a great topic. Like Power Pivot is an add-on which is available in Excel. So that's a very, very big topic. So later on, I'll also cover specifically what you can do with the Power Pivot. I've seen that people are using Microsoft Excel for last 20 years, 25 years. During the training, when I asked them that, okay, do you know about Power Pivot? They don't have any idea. But it's a great tool in Microsoft Excel. And also in future videos, I'll also focus on the topics of Power Query. Yeah, what is Power Query? Power Query is a tool by which you can do the data cleaning and data transformation. So whenever we are getting the data is not in proper shape. So what we do that we try to clean the data, we try to add some columns, delete some columns, add some rows, delete some rows. We can do many things. So that will be a separate tutorial on Power Query which will come in near future. So first of all, let us see over here. So here we are having the tabs. Now within the tab we are having here this ribbon, and it is containing various icons. We can use those icons for various activity. Now on the top area here, you can see that there are some buttons available over here. So we are having here auto save, then this is the save button. Okay, this is the undo and redo button. So this area which is on the top of this tab, it is known as quick access toolbar. I repeat, it is known as quick access toolbar. So as the word gives you a meaning that whenever you are having some special buttons, okay, which you are using on a regular basis, those kind of buttons you can put it over here. This is known as quick access toolbar. So let's say here if I want to add some few buttons which I'm using on a regular basis. So what I can do, I can click this arrow here, okay, this drop down arrow. I can click this arrow, and then in the arrow you can see that we are already having drop down here known as customize quick access toolbar, and in the quick access toolbar we are having here automatically save, that is this auto save option. If you are using the OneDrive thing in your system, then definitely you will have this auto save, otherwise not. Then we have new, open, save, email, quick print, print preview and print, spelling, undo, redo, sort ascending, sort descending, touch or mouse mode, more commands, etc. So here you can see that there are 4 options which are already available in this quick access toolbar. In my case, I'm talking about. So automatically save, undo and redo. But suppose if I want to add here one more icon. So let's say if I want to use this email. So I can click on this email. Okay, and when I click on this email, you can see that now I'm having the email icon and it is part of the quick access toolbar. So this is how you can add a new icon to the quick access toolbar. But remember that these icons are those icons which you are using daily. So sometimes what happens that suppose if this email icon is somewhere in one of the tab, then I have to go to the tab, I have to go to that area, I have to click that icon. So it's a long process. So in that case, what you can do, that you can put that icon, the regular icon in your quick access toolbar. So this will save a lot of time. Suppose if I want to remove this email icon from this quick access toolbar, let's say now I'm not using it. So I can click again on this drop down here, and in this drop down, I can again click this email option. So I click these email options, and now you can see that the email icon is gone. So this is how you can customize the quick access toolbar. Now suppose if you want to add here one of the icon which is not available in this normal options. So what you can do, you can click on this more commands. And then when I click on the more command, then I'm having this Excel options dialog box. We'll also see these Excel options in more details in the upcoming videos. So in the Excel options, we are having the quick access toolbar directly. And here we are having here it says choose commands from popular commands. So these are the popular commands over here. And here on the right hand side, I'm having those 4 buttons which are already available in my quick access toolbar. Now suppose if I want to use this feature, let's say paste button, suppose, okay, I want to put this paste icon into my quick access toolbar. So what I can do, I can select this paste button and then I can click on this add button. And once I click on the add button, you can see that now the paste icon is over here. So that is how you add icon to the quick access toolbar. Yeah, likewise, I can go for any icon here. I can also click this drop down here. Here we can see the popular commands, commands not in the ribbon, all commands, and then there are various tabs over here. So I can go to any tab and I can put, suppose if I go to the, let's say, insert tab. In the insert tab, I want to use this icon, let's say header and footer. Okay, I want to use this icon header and footer in my quick access toolbar. So I can click this header and footer, which is available in my insert tab here. And then after selecting that header and footer, I click on this add button. And once I click on the add button, now this header and footer icon in my quick access toolbar. Currently it is on the right hand side. And what I can do now, I can click here on OK button. If I'm happy with all these icons in the quick access toolbar, I can click on the OK button. And now here you can see that those 2 buttons are now available.
Endlich CFO. Ein Traumjob. Wenn man gern auf dem heißen Stuhl sitzt. Mit SAP nutzen Ihre KI-Agenten gezielt die richtigen Daten und helfen Ihnen cool zu handeln, wenn es mal wieder heiß hergeht.
Ich hatte keine Ahnung, dass so etwas möglich war. 2020 habe ich damit angefangen, Programmierer auszubilden. 4 Jahre später, nachdem wir als Firma hunderte Menschen in den ersten IT-Job gebracht haben, habe ich als Gründer so viel erleben dürfen. Besonders stark Dankbarkeit. Die Dankbarkeit, jede Woche dieses Gefühl zu spüren, wenn dir ein Quereinsteiger schreibt: Ich habe es geschafft, ich habe meinen Arbeitsvertrag für den ersten IT-Job unterschrieben. Und ich fühle es, denn mein Team und ich haben hart gearbeitet, um diese Person für den Job in der Softwareentwicklung auszubilden, und ich durfte dabei zusehen, wie sie jeden Tag ein Stück besser wurden und jeden Tag an neuen Projekten weiter wachsen, von einfachen Webseiten bis hin zu komplexen Business-Apps. Und das so lange, bis sie gut genug sind für den Arbeitsmarkt. Und das alles nicht wegen mir, sondern dank eines starken Teams aus vielen Softwareentwicklern und Karrieretrainern, die 7 Tage die Woche bis spät abends unseren Kunden dabei helfen, dran zu bleiben, weiterzumachen, besser zu werden, Bugs zu fixen, Apps zu kreieren und Webseiten zu bauen. Und was ich davon nie erwartet hätte, dabei zusehen zu dürfen, wie sich hunderte Menschen aus dem ganzen Land und darüber hinaus zusammenschließen in eine Community und sich dabei gegenseitig unterstützen, gemeinsam ein Ziel zu erreichen: den Einstieg in eine Karriere in der IT. Meine Arbeit als Programmierlehrer und Gründer der
We are having the paste button here, and we are having here the header and footer. So directly I can click that button. I don't have to search anywhere in these various tabs. I can directly click that button and I can perform the activity. So this is the usage of the quick access toolbar. Now suppose if I want to remove these two things, I can go to this drop down, I can click on more commands, and then I can come over here in this window. I can select these two icons over here. Yeah, I have to select here one by one. I have to click on remove button, select this paste icon, and I can click on remove, so it will go away. This is one method, and another method is this, that I can directly right click here on the, let's say, the header and footer. Suppose let's say header and footer I don't want here, so I can right click over here on this header and footer icon, and then I can say remove from quick access toolbar. So just I click this option, remove from quick access toolbar, and now you can see that that header and footer icon is not in the toolbar. Similarly, I can also do the same thing here, paste icon, right click, I click on remove from quick access toolbar, and it is gone. So friends, here we have seen that how you can customize the quick access toolbar. Do not ignore this particular portion. Yeah, it is very, very important, and it will save a lot of time. Now, after this quick access toolbar, now here we can see that we are having here the sheet 1. So as I mentioned in the earlier video, where I talked about the introduction about the Microsoft Excel, so I mentioned this point that in case of Excel, we are having two terms. One is known as workbook, second one is known as worksheet. So workbook means this whole file, this whole Excel file is known as workbook, and within the workbook we are having the different worksheets. So by default you will have here sheet 1, okay, and suppose if I want to have more sheets, I can click this plus icon here, and once I click on the plus icon, now I'm having here sheet 2. If I click on again plus icon, I'm having here sheet 3. So likewise I can have here 100 sheets also. So it depends upon your requirement. So here sheet 1, sheet 2 and sheet 3. What I can do, suppose let's say if you assume that here I'm having 100 sheets. Now I want to go to a particular sheet. So what I can do, that if I'm having here more sheets, and if I want to go to a particular sheet in this area where I'm having this left arrow key and right arrow key, currently it is disabled. Why it is disabled? Because we are having only 3 sheets. It doesn't make any sense to give you this option of left and right button. But whenever you are having more sheets here, let's say you are having 15 sheets, then definitely this left arrow and the right arrow will be active. So what I have to do, I have to right click here on this area, and when I right click here, you can see that we are having here the 3 sheets. So if you are having here 100 sheets, you will see those 100 sheets. Definitely we have to name this sheet, because we cannot keep sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. We have to give some name to this sheet. So that also I'll show you. But just now here I can see the 3 sheets, and I can click one of the sheet where I want to go. Suppose if I click on sheet 3, I can click on OK button, and now I come directly to the sheet 3. So this is how we go to a particular sheet from this area. Right click, and you see here the various sheets. Let us give here the sheet name. So suppose if you want to give the sheet name, you have to just double click over here. So simply double click, and now I can give some sheet name. Let's say I give here the sheet name sales. This is my sales sheet. I press enter. Okay, so what I've done here, I've just double click and you change the sheet name. Similarly, the sheet 2, I can double click, I can give here, let's say, profit sheet, press enter, and the sheet 3 is, let's say, my discount sheet. Okay, so here I'm having 3 sheets. First one is sales, profit, and discount. So remember that you have to always give some name to the sheet. You have to see that what kind of data you are having here in the sheet, and accordingly you have to give the sheet name. So tomorrow, if you or your colleague are able to work with this particular file, then you should also remember that in which sheet, what kind of data I'm having. So once you see the name of that sheet, then you know that, okay, in this sales sheet, I'm having the sales data. Now what I can do, I can also change the position of the sheet. It's not compulsory that my sales has to be first. I can also drag the sales and I can put it over here after discount. Okay, so now you can see that my sales sheet is now at the end. It is after the discount. I can also put this discount sheet. I can use my mouse. I'm using my mouse, left hand side mouse over here. So I put it over here before the profit, and now you can see that discount is the first one, then comes the profit and the sales. Okay, so you can move the sheets over here. I can also, let's say if I right click here, discount sheet, then I can see that I'm having various options. So we are having here insert, delete, rename, move or copy, view code, protect sheet, tab color, hide, select all sheet, and link to the sheet. So if I click on here, insert, suppose. Okay, let us start with the insert. If I click on insert, then it will insert if I want to insert a worksheet here, if I want to insert a chart, these other things we are not using on a regular basis, like Excel macro and international macro sheet and Excel dialog. Normally we will use either the worksheet or the chart. But suppose if I click here worksheet, as worksheet is already selected, I click on OK button. Then here you can see that now I'm having a sheet 4. Okay, so sheet 4, I can give some name here, city. Okay, let's say I give the sheet name here as cities. So now we are having here total 4 sheets. Now when you right click again on one of the sheet, then we can also delete the sheet. Suppose if I want to delete this city sheet, I can click on delete here. Okay, so now the cities sheet is gone. I've deleted. Suppose if I again right click on discount sheet, I can rename here. I can move or copy. So in the discount sheet, if I write my name, Samir Rohatia. Okay, I have written my name over here in the discount sheet. Let us assume that this sheet is containing lot of data. It is containing some formulas and all those things. Now I want to have a copy of this particular sheet. Okay, I don't want to do everything again. I want to create a copy of this particular sheet. So what I'll do, I will right click here on the discount sheet, and then I will click on move or copy. Once I click on move or copy here, then I get this dialog box over here. First of all, I can give some name here, or I can go for, let's say currently I go for book 1, and then here I have to select suppose if I want to create here a copy, then I have to click here a copy. I select, let's say, the discount sheet. I click on create a copy, and then I click on OK. And now you can see that I'm having a copy of the discount sheet. It is known as discount bracket 2. Definitely I can give some name over here. Let's say here if I give the name, double click, and if I give here the name, let's say January discount, and this is February discount. Okay, so I'm having here now January discount, February discount. So there are 2 sheets, and in both the sheet you can see that my name is written over here. Now if I want to modify this new sheet, then definitely I can do over here, and it will be remaining in this particular sheet only. So this is how you can create a copy. You can also move here, move or copy, and move selected sheet. And I can also move this to a new workbook, and then I can have this particular sheet in that new workbook. So here we have seen the move or copy. View code, if I click on view code, then it will open up the Visual Basic. Will not be going in the details of this Visual Basic. There are people who are experts in Visual Basic, so they can do the coding over here and they can work with this Visual Basic. So I will close this option. Then we are having the protect sheet. Now see, I'll be creating a separate video on how to protect your Microsoft Excel file, your workbook, your worksheet, how to protect the cells. Okay, so it will be a separate video on the protection, because protecting your file, your workbook, your sheet is very, very important. Then we have this tab color. This is a very, very important thing. So see, just now you can see that all these tabs, they are having the same combination of gray color and white color. The tabs which are active, they are having here the white color. The tabs which are not active, they are having the gray color. Now see what happened, that if you are having 3 to 4 sheets, this tab color is not important, I would say like that. But let's say you are having 15, 16 sheets, and there are some sheets which are related with marketing data, there are some related with HR, some related with finance, some related with purchase. So what happened, that if you are having those various sheets and they are in one workbook only, then sometimes it is very, very difficult to know that which sheets are part of which particular department. So what I can do, that if let's say if this discount, I want to give some different color to differentiate from the other sheets, what I have to do, I have to right click over here on this January discount sheet. I go to the tab color and then I can give some color here. Let's say I give here orange color. So see here, now the orange color is applied to this tab, but just now you cannot see the real orange color. It is having a very light shade of orange color. But as soon as I go to the next tab, now you see here that my January discount sheet is now having a proper orange color. When I click it again, now it is very light. Again, when I click on February discount, now it is dark color. Yeah, so similarly, I can give this same color to the February discount sheet also. Right click, tab color, I can give the same color here. Let us assume that this tab is over here after the sales. Similarly, profit, I can give some other color. Let's say right click, tab color, I can give some green color here. I go to the sales also, I give some blue color here. See, as such, it looks very good that you are having here some colors give some freshness to the sheet, but it's not just giving you the freshness, but it's also giving you some information that okay, these sheets which are having the same color, they are having almost the similar data, or they are coming from the same department. So likewise, you can differentiate the various sheets here. So this is what we have done over here, tab color. Then we can also hide the sheet. Sometimes, let's say we have created so many sheets and we want to hide a particular sheet, or we want to hide some specific sheets for our other users, for our other colleagues. Yeah, we don't want them to see those hidden sheets. So what we have to do, we have to click on this. So let's say I want to hide this February discount sheet. So I can right click over here on the February discount sheet, and then I can click on hide. I'm not able to see the sheet, though it is there. Okay, and when I send this file to my colleague will also not be able to see the February discount sheet. Now, if I want to bring it back, then what I have to do, I have to right click on one of the sheet. You see, when I right click on one of the sheet here, I am now having also the option of unhide. So hide and unhide. So if I click on unhide, then it will show me that, okay, suppose here we have only hidden one sheet, but let us assume that here we are having 5 sheets which I have hidden. So it will show me that which sheet are hidden currently. And now it will ask me that, okay, which sheet you want to unhide. So here I'm having only one sheet which I've hidden. So I'll select this sheet. I click on OK button. And now you can see that the February discount sheet is now not hidden. So this is how you can make the sheet hidden and unhide. Okay. Select all sheet. Suppose if I click on select all sheet, then all the sheets are selected. Okay. Maybe in some of the cases you may use this feature. Otherwise, it's not that much important. If I click one of the sheet here, now select all sheet is now gone. So these are some of the options here. Link to this sheet that I'll show you in a separate video here. After creating these various sheets over here, now a question may come that how many rows and columns we are having in Microsoft Excel. As you can see that here we are having these various columns, this A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These are the various columns. If I want to go to the last column here in this Microsoft Excel, what I have to do, I have to press Control and right arrow button. So that will take me to the last column here, which is known as XFT. Again, if I want to go to the first column, then what I have to do, I have to press now Control and left arrow key. If I press Control and left arrow key together, it will take me to the first column here. Let us see that how many number of columns and the number of rows are there in one particular Excel sheet. So here I have written, and you can also note down, that the number of columns, the total number of columns in Excel are 16,384. So from A column till that the last column that we saw, the total number of columns are 16,384. The total number of rows that we have in Excel, it is 1,48,576. Okay, so suppose if I want to go to the number of rows, so what I have to do, I have to select this cell here, which is known as A1 cell, and this is the first cell on the top left corner. And now if I want to go to the last row, I have to press Control and down arrow key. and now it will take me to that last row, which is known as 1,048,576. So this is the last row that we are having in Excel. Now from the last row, if I want to go to the first row, I have to press now what? Control and up arrow key. So control and up arrow key, if I press, then I'm coming back to the first row. So remember this control and left arrow key, control and right arrow key. For left and right arrow key we use for shifting from the first column to the last column, and we use the up arrow key and the down arrow key if you want to move from the first row to the last row. So these are some of the shortcut keys, because as you know that Excel is having a lot of shortcut keys. I know that it's not possible to remember all the shortcut keys, but yes, whatever the shortcut keys that we use on a regular basis, that we'll always remember. Now we'll come to the final topic for this particular video, and that is what you were waiting for, that whatever these tabs that we are already having by default in Excel, you can also create your own tab over here. You can have your own tab. You can put some of the buttons which you are using on regular basis. You can create your own ribbon over here. So now let us go to the final topic in this particular video. So that is how to create a custom tab. So for creating a custom tab, we have to go to this file tab. Okay, so I'm again repeating, you have to go to the file tab. In the file tab, you have to click here options. And once you click on the options, then here you are having this dialog box that we already saw. That is known as Excel options dialog box. In the Excel options dialog box, we are having here one option known as customize ribbon. So I can click on this customize ribbon. On the left hand side, we have here the choose commands from, and then these are some of the popular commands which are available. And on the right hand side, it says here customize the ribbon. If, let's say from the insert tab, if I want to remove some of the icons, if I want to add some icons, that is possible. Yeah, I can also customize the normal tab which are provided by Excel. But here I would like to show you how you can create your own tab and how you can create your own ribbon. So for that purpose, what we'll do, that here you can see on the right hand side here we are having a button below which is known as new tab. So first of all, I have to click this new tab. You see that it is written here new tab bracket custom, and within the new tab we are having new group. So let me select first of all this new tab, because see, new tab initial the name is fine, but then you have to give some name here. So I have to give some name. As we can see that here we are having the other names for the tabs. So I select this new tab custom, and then I can click on rename button here. And once I click on rename, now I have to give some name to this tab. So suppose if I write down here most important icons, suppose this is the tab which I want to create, and then I can click on OK button. So see, now it is written here most important icons. This is the tab name. Now within the tab we can create a group. Now what is the group here? See, these are the groups. Let's say in the insert tab we are having a group which is known as tables, and within the tables we are having the various icons. Similarly, there is a illustrations group, and within the illustration groups we are having here icons like pictures, shapes, icons, 3D models, smart art, screenshot, etc. So this is known as group. So here also we can create a group. I give the name here. I select the new group. I click on rename, and now I can give some group name, formatting. So I can click on OK button. So now you can see that I'm having the formatting as the group, which is below the tab. So this is the tab, this is the group. Now within the group, I want to put some icons. So what I can do, let's say I go for this in this popular commands. I can select this format painter. Format painter, I want to put it in the formatting group. So I select the format painter icon here. I can click on add button, and when I click on the add button, I'm having here the format painter icon. Then I can go for, let's say, increase font size, suppose. So I select this increase font size. I click on add button here. It comes over here. Then I can go for here any other option. Fill color, suppose I want to use the fill color here, click on add, and then I want to use the font color, click on add. You can put here various icons within a group. Now suppose if you want to create many groups, then what you can do, you can select this one, the tab, and within the tab if you want to create another group, just like what we have done over here for the formatting, you can select this tab and then you can click this button new group. So it will create another group, and within the group you can put other icons here. So just as you can see that in the insert tab we are having here various groups like tables, illustrations, controls, charts, spark lines, filters, links, comments, and symbols. So likewise here I have to select this tab first of all. Okay, select the tab and then you click on new group, and then it will create the group below this particular tab. So here I've created the group and all the icons here. Now I'm happy. So what I'll do, I will click on OK button now here below after creating your own customized tab and group. And now you can see that I'm having my new customized tab, which is known as most important icons. And now here I can see those 4 icons, and it is part of the formatting group. Here you can see that formatting group is available, and these are the 4 icons that I've put over here. Now suppose if I don't want to have this group here and the tab, what I can do, I can go to the file options. I go to this customize ribbon here in the Excel options, and the customize ribbon, suppose if I don't want to see this particular tab in my Excel, I have to just select this tab here. Okay, select the tab, and now I'll click on remove. We have here the remove option. I can click on remove, and now you see that it is gone. So my most important icons tab is gone. Yes, my tab is gone here. Okay, so now the tabs are not available. I can click on OK button, and now you see here we are not having the most important icons tab, so I have removed it. Friends, this is the process of creating your own tab with your own ribbon, with your own icons, and I've also shown you how to remove that particular customized tab. So now in the next video, the third video in Microsoft Excel tutorial, I'll be showing you how to enter the data within the Microsoft Excel, how to format the data, how to do some various features over here in the Microsoft Excel. So that will be the part of the third video. So slowly and steadily we are moving towards the advanced topic. Okay, so initially we'll be having these basic topics, and then slowly we'll move towards the advanced topics. So stay tuned, and if you like this particular video, you can subscribe. Just share this video with your colleagues and your friends, and see you in the next video. Thank you very much.
Feather Insurance covers the most important things in life, like your ride. Sign up today.
Geh jetzt auf jimdo.de und hol dir deine Webseite für dich und dein Business. Ohne den ganzen Schnickschnack, aber mit allem, was du brauchst. Mit Jimdo erhältst du eine praktische Website-Lösung. Mit Hilfe von KI und einfachster Bedienung erstellst du deine Webseite einfach selber. Mit abmahnsicheren Rechtstexten. So individuell wie du. Jederzeit änderbar. Und natürlich für alle mobilen Endgeräte optimiert. Ist die von dir? Schönes Ding. Geh jetzt auf jimdo.de und gib dein...
Hello everybody. My name is Samir Rohadia, and I'm working as a business intelligence developer and also IT trainer, freelance basis. So here I'll be starting with the... Would you like to know that what is the importance of various references that we have in Microsoft Excel? Especially you would like to know that why we are using the references and where we'll be using the references. Then please stay tuned to this video. Hello all, my name is Samir Wadia, and currently I'm working as a BI developer, and I'm also working as a IT trainer on freelance basis. So welcome to this video. In this video, we'll be talking about the 3 types of references that we have in Microsoft Excel. So they are known as relative reference, absolute reference, and the mixed reference. Now I hope that you must have seen my earlier video which focused on the various formatting options that we have in Microsoft Excel. If you have not seen, then I will put up the link above, so please check that video. So I'm already having a playlist of this Microsoft Excel, so whether you are beginner or whether you are intermediate user, definitely you can watch out all the videos in this particular tutorial. So looking forward to see you in my further videos. So let us continue with this topic of relative, absolute, and mixed references. Now here you can see that in our Excel file, we'll start with first of all the relative reference here. So here I've given the definition of relative reference. That is, a relative reference in Excel refers to a cell address that changes automatically when a formula is copied to another location. It is the default reference type in Microsoft Excel. It is useful for applying the same calculation across multiple rows or columns. So first of all, we'll start with the first line here, that a relative reference in Excel refers to a cell address that changes automatically when a formula is copied to another location. Now let us see here with the help of an example. In this table, we are having total 4 columns. So we are having the salesperson, revenue, expenses, and profit. Now I already mentioned in my previous video that here if you see this value 25.000, so it is not decimal, it is comma. So it is 1000 separator. So here in Germany we have the dot as a 1000 separator. So this is 25,000, 34,000, 27,000, and so on. Now here we would like to calculate the profit. How to calculate the profit? Profit, as you know, that it is revenue minus expenses. So I'll be putting the formula here and I'll be calculating the profit for John, and then we will see that how we can calculate the profit for the other salesperson. So first of all, I will put my pointer over here in this cell E3, and then here I'll be typing equal to this C3 minus D3. So very simple. Profit is equal to revenue minus expenses. So it is C3 minus D3. I press enter, and now here we are getting the value 14,550. So here we have calculated the profit of one salesperson, that is known as John. If I want to calculate the profit of Matt, then definitely here also I have to manually type the formula and then I will get the answer. Similarly for the other salesperson also, I may have to type the formula manually and then I'll be getting the answer. But as you know that in case of Excel, we have a very good feature. If I write the formula in the first cell, then I can drag the formula down so that I don't have to write the formula again and again. So what we do here, that we have written here the formula in this particular cell, that is known as E3. Now we will drag this formula here. So I will drag this formula down by putting my pointer over here, and with help of the mouse I'll be dragging the formula down. So now here we are getting the answer for each of the salesperson. So here I can see the profit of all the salesperson. And if I double click, let's say this particular cell, so then here the formula is automatically written, that is equal to C6 minus D6. If I click here, this particular cell, that is E8 cell, I double click, then here I'm getting the answer equal to C8 minus D8. Whatever we are seeing here, this formula, by dragging the first formula, then here it is known as a relative reference, because in this cell we were having the formula equal to C3 minus D3. When I go down in this particular cell, now it is C4 minus D4. So what happens that when we are dragging the formula down, then it is not taking every time C3 minus D3, C3 minus D3. It is now taking the relative reference. So when you go to the next row, it will take the one cell from the revenue column and one cell from the expenses column. In the second row, it will be C4 minus D4. When it goes to the third row, it will be C5 minus D5, then C6 minus D6. So this is known as relative reference. Here if you see the definition again, that is a relative reference in Excel refers to a cell address that changes automatically when a formula is copied to another location. So when we drag the formula down, or maybe if we drag the formula on the right hand side, the formula is copied and then we'll be taking the relative references here. Now the second sentence is also very important, that it is the default reference type in MS Excel. So whenever you drag the formula, it will be always relative reference. It is useful for applying the same calculation across multiple rows and columns. So it is useful that we don't have to type the formula again and again. I can simply drag the formula down or on the right hand side and it will give us the answer. So I hope that this is clear to you. That is the relative reference. This is the simplest reference that we have here in Microsoft Excel. Now we will switch over to the next sheet here, and that is talking about the absolute reference. So first of all, we'll see the definition of absolute reference. So here it is written, an absolute reference in Microsoft Excel refers to a cell reference that does not change when a formula is copied or moved to another cell. We use $sign to lock the row and column, that is locking cell. Example $B, $3 refers always to cell B3 no matter where the formula is copied. This absolute reference is used in calculations like fixing tax rate, specific conversion factor, etc. So let us understand this absolute reference. We are having the mark sheet of these various students and they've got the marks out of 100. So now here I want to calculate the percentage of each of the student. Now we know that if you want to calculate the percentage, it will be their total marks divided by the overall marks. So 80 divided by 100, it will give me the percentage of John. So here in this particular cell, that is known as D4 cell, I'll type equal to C4 slash C3. So C4 is containing these 80 marks and C3 is containing the 100 marks. So 80 divided by 100. If I press enter, it will give you 80%. Now what I want to do that I want to calculate the percentage for Matt, Sam, Julie, Maria, Sebastian, etc. So as we have done in the earlier sheet, now I'll be dragging the formula down and let us see that whether it is giving the correct answer or not. So here you can see that we are having 81%. Now see, the mark that Matt has received is 65 marks. Now 65 out of 100, here we should be getting 65%. If we see Sam, then Sam has secured 75 marks out of 100. So here Sam has to get 75% as the calculation. So here all these calculations are wrong. If we see this Maria, then for Maria, she has got 35 out of 100. So her percentage has to be 35. So this percentage is almost nearer to what we expect. That is, instead of 35, we have got 37. That is a little bit fine. But the other percentage here, all these other percentage are totally wrong. Now, why they are wrong? If I double click this cell, that is D5 cell, what is the formula written now? Equal to C5 divided by C4. What is C5? C5 is this one, 65. 65 divided by C4, that is 80. So 65 by 80, it will give us the answer 81. So as such, the calculation is correct. But what I want here, that I want to divide 65 by 100. So it has to be equal to C5 divided by C3, not C4. Then if I go to this particular cell that is known as D6 cell, if I double click, then here it is written equal to C6 divided by C5. So C6 is 75 divided by C5, that is 65. So this is also wrong. It should be 75 divided by 100. So it has to be equal to C6 divided by C3. Here what we are having, that when we drag the formula down, so in this particular cell it was C4 by C3. When we drag the formula down, then here it will be C5 divided by C4. Then it will be C6 divided by C5. So here when we drag the formula, we are having the by default relative reference. Now here what we want to do, that we want to fix up this particular cell that is known as C3 cell, because every time I have to divide all these numbers by 100. So we have to fix up this cell. It should not change. The denominator here should not change. It should be always 100. So now what I have to do, that in this particular cell, that is D4 cell, I double click, and now here if I want to fix up this C3 cell, then I have to type here what? $C $3. $C means if you put $sign before, let's say, row or column, it means that you are fixing that particular thing. So if I put $C, it means that I'm fixing up the column, that is the C column. If I'm putting the $sign in front of 3, then I'm fixing up the third row. And if I'm putting both the $sign, it means that I'm fixing up a particular cell. So here we are fixing the cell that is known as C3. So this is how we can fix up the cell, that is $C $3. So I press enter. So now here the answer is same, 80%. Okay, now I drag the formula down, and when I drag the formula down, now you see 65, 65, 75, 75, 95, 95, 35, 35. So now here all these percentage are correct. If I double click, let's say this cell, that is D9 cell, if I double click, now here it is written equal to C9 slash $C $3. So everywhere you double click, you will get in the denominator the same cell that is known as C3, $C $3. Got the point? So this is how we go for the absolute reference. In absolute reference, we always fix up a particular cell. Remember that part. And we are putting both the $sign. We are putting the $sign in front of the column also, and we are putting the $sign in front of the row also. So that is what we mean by the absolute reference. So now here it is written again. An absolute reference in Excel refers to a cell reference that does not change when a formula is copied or moved to another cell. We use $sign to lock the row and column, that is locking the cell. Example $B $3. It refers always to cell B3 no matter where the formula is copied. And these are the examples of usage of the absolute reference. Now let us go to the final reference, that is the mixed reference. So now in the mixed reference, it is written here, a mixed reference is a cell reference that locks either the row or the column, but not both. It is a combination of relative and absolute references. Example $A1 or A$1. Useful in multiplication tables, matrix calculations, or dynamic data lookups. Here we are preparing a multiplication table. So in the rows we are having 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and in the columns also we are having 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now here I want to create a multiplication table. So if I take this particular cell that is known as D5 cell, then I have to multiply 10 by 10. So here I should be getting the answer 100. Here I should be getting answer what? 10 by 20. So here it should be 200. So that is what I want here. Okay. And finally here it should be 50 by 50. So it should be 2500. So I want to create this multiplication table with the help of a formula. So here if I start writing the formula, so what it will be? It will be equal to C5 multiplied by the D4. So here I type equal to C5 multiply. So for multiplication we put the star multiply by what? D4. 10 multiplied by 10, that is equal to C5 multiplied by D4. I press enter. So I'm getting here answer 100. Okay. Now when I drag the formula down, now it is giving me something else. See here we should be getting the answer 20 by 10. So it should be giving the answer here 200. Here we should be getting the answer 300. Here we should be getting the answer 400. And here we should be getting the answer 500. But here we are getting very, very large value. Why? Because it is just doing the relative reference here. We don't want relative reference here. So now how to fix up this problem? See, remember one thing, that what is mixed reference? Mixed reference means either we fix up the column or we fix up the row. We cannot fix up both the things. We have to fix up either the row or we have to fix up the column. Now here when we drag the formula down, so what we have to do, that in this cell we are having the formula equal to C5 multiplied by D4. Then here it should be C6 multiplied by D4. In this cell it should be C7 multiplied by D4. So suppose if I focus on these cells, so what are their references here? C5, C6, C7, C8, C9. So what we have to do, that whenever we see either the column or the row which is getting repeated, then we have to fix up that particular row or particular column. So in this example we are having C5, C6, C7, C8, C9. So the C column is getting repeated. So I have to fix up only the C column, not the row 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that is changing. So in this cell I change the formula here. Instead of C5 I put here what? $C5. I put here $sign in front of the C, and then in front of 5 I don't put any $sign. We are fixing up here what? Column, because it is getting repeated when we go down. C5, C6, C7, C8, C9. So C is getting repeated, so we fix up the C column. So we type here $C5 multiplied by D4. I press enter. Now let us drag the formula down. When I drag the formula down, it is still not giving me the answer. Here also it is $C, $6 and D5. Yeah. So here it is still not multiplying 20 by 10. Now here when I go on the right hand side, then what is this cell here? It is D4. This is E4, F4, G4 and H4. So here 4 is getting repeated, so I have to fix up the fourth row. Are you getting it? So here in this cell I type D$4 because 4 is getting repeated on the columns and C column is getting repeated on the rows. So now we have to just go for the final formula here, that is equal to $C5 multiplied by D$4 because 4 is getting repeated, so we are putting the $sign in front of that 4. I press enter. So now here I drag the formula down. See, now it is perfect. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. And now if I drag the formula on the right hand side, it is also giving me the perfect answer. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. And now I drag the formula totally down. So now I am getting the perfect multiplication table. This is what we mean by the mixed reference. With the mixed reference, either we fix up the column or we fix up the row. So I hope that all these three references are clear to you. And remember that these are very, very important references. Without the knowledge of references, you will not be able to work with the formulas and functions in Microsoft Excel. So please go through this thing and please do the practice, and that will really help you. Now in the next video, we'll be talking about one concept which is known as text to columns. So suppose if we are having some text and if I want to convert that text into some columns, then how to do it. So please stay tuned to this next video. Please also subscribe to my channel and also go through the Zero to Hero Microsoft Excel playlist. Okay, so that will really help you and become excellent in Microsoft Excel. So thank you very much again and see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all, welcome back to the channel. If you are working in Excel and still using Ctrl+V to paste, you are missing out on one of the most powerful features Excel has to offer. Today, we are diving into Paste Special, the secret weapon that lets you do so much more than just paste. Whether you are copying just the values, formats, formulas, or even transposing data, Paste Special can save you tons of time and headaches. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how and when to use Paste Special to take your Excel skills to the next level. So grab your spreadsheet, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. So friends, let us start with the practical part of this base spatial. You can see that I've created a table. So this table is containing the employee numbers, then employee name, gross salary, the taxes, net salary, and the location. Now this is an imaginary table, you can say like that, with the imaginary data, dummy data. Here I have kept all the gross salary, which are currently shown in dollars. Then I have calculated here the tax. So here I have placed the formula. If I double click over here, so then it is 10% of the 60,000. So that is, here it is 6,000 and so on. I have created this formula and I have placed it over here in this taxes column. Now what is the net salary? Net salary is equal to the gross salary minus the taxes. So here it is 60,000 minus 6,000, that is 54,000. Okay, so this is 1,000. In my previous video I have mentioned that in Germany, whenever we put the 1,000 separator, that is comma, here in Germany we put it dot. So this is the table. Now what I want to do, that I want to, let's say, copy this table and I want to paste it somewhere down below. If I select this whole table, then I go for Control C, and now I go down and let me paste over here the table. So here I select this particular cell and then I go for Control V. I press Control V and now this table is over here. This is the normal copy and paste that we know in Microsoft Excel. But apart from this normal pasting, we also have a paste spatial. So let us see those various options that we have in the paste spatial. So let me undo this tab here. So now already this table is selected and it is already copied. So now I will select this particular cell and now I will right click over here. When I right click here, I can see here paste spatial. So in the paste spatial, I am having these options like paste, then we have formulas. You see that how these things are working here. Let me right click again here, paste spatial. In the paste spatial, we have here the normal pasting, which is having everything. Then I can put the pointer over here, that is the formulas. Now see here, if I select this formulas option, then here the formula has also been copied. So let us see, if I double click this particular cell, I can see the formula. If I double click over here, here also I can see the formula, that is G20 minus the H20. So here the formula is also copied, so I can also use it somewhere down below. Now let me undo. Now what I'll do, I will again select this cell, right click, go to paste spatial, and now here we have another option, that is formulas and number formatting. Now see, what is this number formatting? As you can see that here I have placed the dollar sign. I've done some kind of formatting here because whenever we want to show the salary, then we put here the dollar or euro or whatever the local currency you have. This is the number formatting which I've done here. So if I again right click here, go to paste spatial, then here I can see this option, that is keep source formatting. So in the source formatting, it shows me below the whole source formatting. Then this option, that is known as the no border. So you paste it, but there should not be any border. So here you can see that I have created here a border. Just to show you again, so here there is some dark border. So if I want to paste everything, and then if I do not want to see the border, then that is also possible. So let me again select this whole table, right click, copy, and then I come over here and then I right click, paste spatial, and now here we see no border below. Then another option is keep source column width. So whatever the column width that is available in the source, that same column width, if we want to have it in the other table also, that is also possible. And then we have here the transpose. Now this transpose is very, very interesting. So see, just now my table is vertical, but if I want to keep it horizontal, then that is possible. So if I click here transpose, so now this whole table has been now created horizontally. So here the table is kept horizontal. So if you want to have these kind of table, then that is also possible. Now let me select here one more cell, right click, and now if I go to paste spatial, then here we have this option. Next option is values. If you want to just have the values, no formatting, then I can click this option here, values. Another option that we have here is values and number formatting. If I want to have the number formatting also, that is if I want to see the dollar sign and also I want to have all the values, then that is also possible here. I can click this option. The third option here, it is values and source formatting. If I want to have the values also, if I want to have the source formatting. So let us click this option, values and source formatting. If I double click this particular cell, you see that there is no formula. It is just taking here the number 5000. Okay, so there is no formula here. So I have not copied the formula. I have just copied the formatting of the previous table, and I also copied the values. That is the difference that we have over here. So let me undo here. Now if I again right click paste spatial, and now let us go to this option here. So here we have the option of just formatting. Suppose if you want to just bring the formatting from the previous table, so that is also possible. I can just click here formatting, and now only the formatting has come, no values, no number formatting, nothing. Yeah, so this is also possible here. Then another option, if I click here, right click, paste spatial, and now here we can also paste some link. Suppose if I've created some link, see that hyperlink and other things, I'll be creating another video for that. But suppose if you have created some link, that link can be pasted here, or if you have put some picture, that also can be pasted, or if you have a picture with the link, so that is also possible. So this linking and the picture, this will be created in another video. So we are having these options here. Yeah, suppose if I click here paste spatial, then this dialog box will come up, and whatever the option that we have seen up till now, all these options are also shown here. All formulas, values, format, comments and notes. If you have put some comments and notes, that can also be copied and pasted. Validation. Now there is another topic, very interesting topic known as data validation. So data validation topic I'll be taking in another video. It's a very important topic. Plus all these other options are available here. Now we will focus on this operation area here. In the operations we have none, add, subtract, multiply and divide. Let us see this option here. Transpose we have already seen just now in the previous example, and skip blanks. Skip blanks means suppose if you are having some blank records in your table, and if you want to just skip those blank records, then that is also possible here. But now we'll focus on this area. So I click on cancel. Now here I'm having one example. Here I'm having a table. So this is a small table which is containing some sales which has happened in Mumbai city and some sales which has happened in Delhi city. Now what I want to do, that I want to add the Mumbai sales into the Delhi sales. Okay, I want to simply add this 100 to this 50. So now finally it should become here 150. This 200 I want to add with 60, so here it should be 260 finally. So this kind of paste spatial is also available. So what I do now here, I select all these cells, then I go for Control C, Control plus C, as you know, that's a shortcut key for copying. So I select all these cells, go for the shortcut key Control plus C, and now I select here one cell. You can also select one cell. It's not compulsory that you have to select everything here. I select this one cell here, which is M5, and now I go for right click, paste spatial, and in the paste spatial I click here this option, and now here I go for this option add, operation add. I click on OK button, and now you see all these numbers have changed. Here we were having initially 50, so 50 has become 150, here 60 has become 260, and so on. So we can also do this kind of pasting. Here I have shown you the addition of one column to the other column, but I can also go for subtraction, division, multiplication, all those basic operations that we can do over here. So this is a very good technique. Yeah, remember this thing, that whenever we want to copy the values from one column, and if you want to paste it into another column, and if you want to go for the operations like addition, multiplication, division, subtraction, then that is also possible here. Now we go for the final topic here, that suppose if I want to copy one particular word or anything, and that word or whatever that table is there, if I want to paste it into multiple sheet. Okay, so here I am having 3 sheets, New York, Toronto and Delhi. So I want to, let's say, copy this table into 3 different sheets in one shot. So that is also possible here. So what we do, we select all these cells here, or we select the whole table, Control C, and now after going for Control C, I select this 3 sheets one by one by pressing the control button. So you select one sheet, let's say I select here New York sheet. Now I press the control button on my keyboard, and now I select here Toronto, Delhi. And now I can select one cell over here, some random cell, and now I'll be going for the Control V. So I go for Control V, and now you see that this table has been pasted over here. So let us check now. If I go to New York sheet, then I can see the table, Toronto, also it is there, Delhi, it is also there. So in one shot I can copy one table from one sheet and I can paste it into multiple sheets. So this is also a very good technique. Remember this technique. This will save a lot of your time. So friends, here we have seen the various examples of the paste spatial. So please do a lot of practice, and in the next video I'll be talking about the advanced field series. We'll be talking about the various field series that we have in Microsoft Excel. Stay tuned to this playlist on Microsoft Excel, and let us meet in the next video. Thank you very much. Hello friends. In the last video, we saw the if function and we also compared that if function with the nested if concept. If you have not seen this video, then the link is available on the top of this video. Please check out this video. In this video, I'll be comparing the nested if concept with the ifs function, ifs if function. So let us see that which is better, whether nested if is better or whether ifs function is better. So let us start with the practical part. So here in this particular sheet, first of all, I've written here what is ifs function. So the ifs function in Microsoft Excel is a logical function that allows you to test multiple conditions in a cleaner and more readable way than nested if statements. Now this is important that when I use the ifs function and when I use the nested if concept, then according to this statement, ifs function is much better, and that we'll also see practically that how it is better. So it is also used for the testing of the multiple conditions. That is what we have seen in the previous video, that we have used the nested if to test the multiple conditions. But the important part here it is that if function, it is written in a much cleaner and more readable way than the nested if statements. It was introduced in Excel 2016, so it's a very old function and it is available in all the later versions. Now what is the syntax over here? The syntax of if function is this, that equal to ifs bracket condition 1 comma result 1 condition 2 comma result 2 and so on. Yeah, so we have to put one condition. If the condition is fulfilling, then we give some result. Then we check the another condition. If the condition is fulfilled, then we show the result 2 and so on. Excel checks each condition in order. So it starts from here and it goes till the end. When it finds the first true condition, it returns the corresponding result. Suppose if this condition 1 is fulfilling, then immediately it will give you the result 1. If this condition 1 is not fulfilling, then it will go to the condition 2. If the condition 2 is fulfilling, then it will show you the result 2 and so on. If none of the conditions are true, Excel returns an A error unless you add a true as the last condition. Now this also we'll see practically that what is this true and why we are putting the true over here. But normally it says here that if none of the conditions are true, it is possible some of the case you may not have all the conditions fulfilled. In that case, Excel will by default return NA error, that is not available error, but we can remove this not available error by writing the true statement. So that we'll see further. Now here I have taken the same example which I took in the previous video. Here we are having the marks of a student for various subjects, and now here I have to write down the result. Now these are the 4 conditions that I have to use. So if the marks are less than 40, then it should be fail. If the marks are greater than 40, or you can say that if the marks are greater than equal to 40, then you should get the result pass. If the marks are greater than equal to 60, then it should be first class. If the marks are greater than equal to 70, then it should give you the result distinction. Now here I'll not be writing the nested if thing, because nested if I have already explained in the previous video. So please check out that video. The link is available on the top of this video. So if I go to this nested if here, this previous example, then let me double click this cell here. So see, this is how I have written the nested if. Nested if is a concept, it's not a function. So equal to if, yeah, and here I have to check whether this cell, that is B17, whether it is greater than equal to 70, then it should be distinction. If this condition is not fulfilled, then I have to check another if condition, whether B17 marks are greater than equal to 60. If it is true, then it should give you the result first class. If this is not true, then it should go to the third condition. Then I have to check whether B17 is greater than equal to 40. If yes, then it should show you the result pass. And if this condition is not fulfilled, then it should show you the condition fail. Yeah. So this is what we mean by the nested if. Now see, nested if is little bit complex to write down. Okay, we have to understand the logic and then we can write down this nested if. So sometimes it's not easy for the person who is just starting with this nested if concept. So this is the nested if concept here. Now let us go to our next sheet. Now we are having the same thing, but in this cell, that is C9, now I'll be using the ifs function, and then we'll see that whether if function is better or the nested if concept is better. So here in this cell I write down equal to ifs. Okay, ifs is a function, equal to ifs, press tab. Now in the if function I have to first of all write down the logical test. So I have to check here whether this B9, it is greater than equal to what? It is greater than equal to, let's say I start with 70, comma, if it is greater than equal to 70, then it should give me the result distinction. Now again I have to check this condition B9. Now the logical test 2. So B9, if it is greater than equal to 60, then it should give me the result what? First class. comma. Again, I have to select the cell B9 and I have to check the condition whether B9 is greater than equal to 40, comma. If it is greater than equal to 40, then it should give me the result here, pass, comma. Now here, I've taken all the three conditions. Now what is the last condition over here? That whether the marks are less than 40. Now see here, after this pass, if I write down here directly, fail, in double quote, bracket complete, press enter, you see, we are getting here the error. You have entered too few arguments for this function. So I cannot directly type here fail, because see, as such the logic says like this, that okay, if the marks are greater than 70, then distinction. If the marks are greater than 60, then it should give you the first class. If the marks are greater than 40, then it should be pass. But now here I have to again write down the fourth condition very specifically. So I have to select here B9, whether B9 is less than 40, comma, then it should give me the result fail. Press enter, and now you see here we are getting this distinction. I drag it down, and now here we are getting the result, the same result what we got with the nested if. But if you check this formula, and when you compare this if function formula with the nested if concept, then you see that here it is much easier to write down. Okay, I don't have to think that okay, I have to write down another if function, put the bracket, another if function, put the bracket. I have to simply, just as we speak, accordingly we type over here. Now one more thing what I can do here, that suppose if I don't want to write down this last logical test, so I remove this B9 less than 40. Suppose if I don't write down here anything, I just keep it here pass. I have not written here fail. Now I press enter. So see, as such it is perfect. Okay, 85 it is distinction. Let me drag the formula down. Now you see here the problem. 35. Now see, 35 is less than 40. But here in this formula of if function, I have not mentioned anything about the fail. I have just mentioned distinction, first class and pass. Here we are getting the correct result, but here we are getting that error, not available. So now if I don't want to see this error, yeah, that is now we are coming to this point here, the last point. If none of the conditions are true, Excel returns NA error. So this is what has happened over here, that here this 35 is not greater than 60, it is not greater than 70, it is not greater than 40. So it is not fulfilling any of the condition. That's why it is giving us this error, NA. But now if I don't want to see this error, I modify this formula again, double click, and now here after pass, I put comma, and now I write down here true, comma, and after true I put here double quote fail. So see, here I could have also written B9 less than 40, but instead of writing B9 less than 40, I can also write down here the last condition or the last logical test as true, comma, fail. Now I press enter, and now let me drag the formula down, and now you see here we are getting the answer fail. Now we are not getting here NA, we are getting here the answer fail. This is what is also mentioned here. The if function check each condition in order. If none of the conditions are true, Excel returns a NA error. To avoid this error and provide a default result, we write true as the final condition. Finally, here I have given you the comparison between the if function and the if function. So if, that is especially I'm talking about the nested if. So nested if is harder to read, but the if function is easier to read. Nested if can get complex because I have to take care of lot of brackets and all those things that we have seen in the earlier example. But if function is ideal for multiple conditions. So I would suggest you that whenever you are having multiple conditions, don't use nested if, you use the if function. That is much better. It is easy to understand, easy to write also. The nested if is supported in all versions of Excel, while if function is now available from Excel 2016. So definitely this you don't have to worry. But overall, I can say that if function is much better than the nested if concept. It is easier to read, easier to write, and easier to understand. Now in the next video, I'll be talking about the differences between the nested if concept and the switch function. We will see that what is this switch function and how it is useful in the logical area. So see you in the next video. Thank you very much.
Das Monday Sales CRM ist definitiv das beste CRM, mit dem ich je gearbeitet habe. Seitdem wir das Monday Sales CRM nutzen, sind unsere Geschäftsabläufe reibungslos und effizient. Wir können jetzt all unsere Leads an einem zentralen Ort einsehen und sie durch den gesamten Vertriebszyklus hindurch verwalten. Mit nur einem Klick kann ich alle Infos aufrufen zu jedem beliebigen Kunden oder Konto in einer einzigen Ansicht. Ich muss nicht mehr zwischen verschiedenen Tabs hin und her wechseln. Ich versende und empfange E-Mails direkt über das Monday Sales CRM. Wir können jede Interaktion protokollieren. Dadurch weiß ich genau, was jeder Kunde braucht. Ich habe selbstständig so viele Automatisierungen eingerichtet, dass ich mich jetzt voll auf meine Kunden konzentrieren kann. Außerdem habe ich meine Dashboards personalisiert, damit ich genau das sehe, was ich sehen will und den Status von jedem Deal kenne. Wenn du nach einem CRM suchst, mit dem die Arbeit Spaß macht, dann probiere das Monday Sales CRM.
Willkommen bei Wieso Steuern? Wie Steuererklärungen, nur wie von selbst.
Ja, aber dann muss ich ja trotzdem alles selber machen.
Nö.
Aber eintippen muss ich schon.
Nur ganz wenig.
Da kann nichts schief gehen.
Nee.
Nice.
Wieso Steuer? Hol dir dein Geld zurück. Jetzt kostenlos ausprobieren.
Hello friends, my name is Samir Wadia. So welcome to this particular video. This video is an extension of my previous video which talked about the various use cases of text to columns. So if you have not seen this video, then please watch this my previous video. The link is available on the top. In this video, I'll be talking about that how we can use the CSV file and how we can bring the data from the CSV file to the Microsoft Excel. It is not so easy. So I will show you the way of bringing that data from CSV to the Microsoft Excel in a very simple manner. So please stay tuned to this video and we will start with this concept of bringing the data from CSV to the Microsoft Excel. But before that, I would like to explain you that what is CSV, how it is different from Microsoft Excel, and then where we can use this CSV format. So let us start. So here in this folder, I have kept two files. That is, one is the CSV file. CSV stands for comma separated value file. So here we are having the Microsoft Excel comma separated values file, and another one is the normal Microsoft Excel worksheet. This is just the first thing that I wanted to show you, that how it is looking and how it is shown in the folder. Now what we'll be doing, that we'll be starting with first of all a brief introduction about what is CSV, where we can use the CSV, how it is different from Microsoft Excel, because that is very important to understand. So let us go for the differences. So here I'm having one article which I've taken from DataCamp platform. So I'll be putting the link of this article in the description. You can check it out. Now in this article, it is talking about the differences between the CSV and the Excel. So first of all, we'll start with a quick summary of the major differences. So CSV. Use CSV when you need a lightweight, universally compatible format for straightforward data exchange between different systems and software applications. So whenever you want to have a data set which is very light and which you can connect with various softwares, then definitely you can use the CSV. While Excel, it says that use Excel when you require robust data analysis capabilities, including complex calculations, visualizations, integrated data manipulation tools within a user-friendly interface. So you can say that Excel is much more advanced compared to the CSV, because in Excel, it is not just for storing the data, it is also for, let's say you can create the data, you can store the data, you can do the various analysis over there, you can do a lot of formatting in Excel, you can apply the various calculations over there, you can create the charts and graphs. So Excel is much more advanced compared to the CSV. Now we'll see that where are CSV and Excel files used. So CSV and Excel files are essential in data analysis and decision making. So whenever you are talking about the data analytics, definitely we have to talk about the CSV and the Excel files. They help you organize, analyze and present data efficiently. So it is for the data management. Now if we come directly to the significance of CSV files. So CSV files are used for data exchange. So here it is written, CSV files are often used to transfer the data between applications, databases and platforms. Their simplicity ensures that the data can be read and processed by various systems regardless of the software used. So here it is not binded to a particular software. We can use this CSV file. We can connect with any software. Let's say if I want to connect to Power BI, if I want to connect to Excel, if I want to connect to Tableau or any other data visualization tool, it can be done very easily. So first significance is data exchange. The second one is the data storage. So in the data storage, CSV files provide a straightforward way to store large data sets without the overhead of additional software. They are particularly useful for archiving data or sharing it across different teams and organizations. If you want to store it, if you want to put it in the archive, we can use this CSV format very easily. It is also used for the data import and export. Normally all the data scientists, data engineer, data analysts, they are using this CSV format, and this we can use it in Python, R, SQL, all these software, they support the CSV format. Now we come to the significance of Excel files. So Excel files are used for data manipulation. We can perform very complex calculations over there. We can transform the data. So one by one, we'll be going into detail in this particular playlist. So if you have not subscribed to the playlist, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe this channel, and you can also watch the playlist on Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is used for the data manipulation. Then we have the data visualizations. So as you know, in Excel, we can create various kind of charts and graphs. So that will be also part of this particular playlist. Then we can do the data analysis. We can use the various tool packs which are available, and we can do in-depth analysis in Excel. And the last one is the reporting. So we can create a very beautiful Excel dashboard, and we can give it to the user, and then the business user can use it for taking some decisions. So remember that all these things will be also having in this playlist. One by one, I'll be putting those videos, and please watch those videos. Now CSV, as I said, that CSV, it means that comma separated values. So remember this short form, comma separated values file. It is a plain text format where each line represents a row of data, and commas separate the values within each row. This plain text format makes CSV files easy to read and write, both by humans and computers. For example, a CSV file containing data about books might look like this. So I can give you an example. So let me bring here Notepad. So if you want to create a CSV file, then normally we use the Notepad. Now in the Notepad, suppose if I want to create a data set for the employee, so I can create in the Notepad like this. So in the first line, I'll be writing the titles of the column. So I'll be starting with employee number, then I'll put comma, then I'll write down here employee first name, maybe something like this, short form, comma, and then I'll write down here employee last name, comma, then we'll be having the location, suppose, comma, and then we can also write down the department, and so on. I can create so many columns. Okay, so just now I'm keeping it very simple. So in the first line, we always write down the title of all the columns. Now I go to the next column here, and now I should start creating the data set. So I'll be starting with, let's say, employee number 001, comma, then employee first name, let's say I write down my name, Samir, comma, Rohadia is my last name, comma, location, Germany, comma, let's say I'm in IT department. Now I go to the next row, and in the next row, now I'm typing the details of another employee, 002, comma, Tony, comma, Blair. Okay, Blair is the last name, comma, then I write down here UK, comma, marketing, and so on. Okay, so this is how we create a CSV file, and then I have to save this file as a .csv. .csv is the extension of the CSV file, and then once this CSV file is created, then I can use this CSV file with some other softwares. So this is how we create a CSV file. Creating the CSV file is very easy. It's not complex. And here, remember that we cannot do that much of formatting that what we have in Excel. If I want to bold all the column titles, then here it is not possible. But in case of Excel, it is possible. A little bit I can bold here. Let's say now this option is available here, bold. Now it is possible because earlier this feature was not available, but now we are having here bold, italics. I can put here link here. Yeah, I can clear the formatting. I can also change the heading here. Let's say if I want to make it bigger, I can click over here. I can select here subheading, so it will become big, or I can make the title, so it will be very big. So these kind of standard options are available here, and I can also go for the bullet. So whether I want to have the bulleted list or numbered list, this also I can do it over here. But normally in the CSV file, we don't do that kind of formatting. We keep it very simple without formatting. Now after this, let us come back over here. So advantages of CSV. So CSV, as I said earlier, it's a plain text format, so it is very easy to create, very easy to store. Then compatibility, as I said, that the CSV file is compatible with all the softwares, so it can be used very well. Then human readable, plain text format of CSV files makes them easy to read and understand without specialized software. We don't require a special software to read that file. It's very easy to understand. And the last one here is efficiency. CSV files are efficient in terms of storage space, as they do not include any formatting or metadata beyond the data itself. So I'll also show you an example that suppose if I'm having a CSV file, and from the CSV file, if I create a Excel file, then we'll compare the size of both the files. Okay, which one is bigger, which one is smaller, that we'll see practically. Then we are having the limitations of CSV. So limitations are that it does not support that much of formatting. Yeah, I cannot give the color to the font here. Yeah, I cannot apply the various styles over here. Let's say in case of Excel, we are having various font styles. We are having Times New Roman, Arial, Calibri, etc. So I cannot create a cell border. CSV file is just containing a very basic formatting, like we saw just now, bold, italics, increasing the font size, that's all. Then lack of advanced features. So as we we know that in case of Excel, we can create pivot tables, we can do data validation and all those things. But in case of CSV, it is not possible. Then limited data handling. So CSV files are not well suited for very large data set or highly complex data structures. So they are best suited for simple flat data tables. So for simple flat tables, it is also known as flat tables here. For simple flat tables, we can create a CSV file, but suppose if you want to have a very large data set, then definitely it is not possible here. Then we have to use Microsoft Excel. And the last one here is potential for data corruption. If the data itself contains commas, care must be taken to properly escape these characters to prevent errors in reading or writing the file. So whenever we'll be reading this file, let's say if I want to read the file in Excel, then we have to take a little bit of care here. So that we'll see practically. Now you have got a very good idea about what is CSV and how it is different from Microsoft Excel. Now we will go for the practical part. So here we are having one CSV file, that is employee database. I'll be just opening this file. So when I double click this CSV file, then it is opened like this in Microsoft Excel. So here I can make it bigger, and it is containing some records over here. In the first row, we are having the column title. So we are having employee ID, first name, last name, gender, role, department, experience, country, continent, salary, employee rating, and manager ID. So these are the various columns that we are having in CSV file. Now we want to convert this CSV into a proper Excel table. So you can see that it is easy to read, but then everything is clubbed in one particular cell. So if I click here, this A1 cell, then in A1 cell, I'm having all these things. If I go to here, A2 cell, then in A2 cell, I'm having all these things written in only one cell. Now I don't want to see like this. I want to see the data in proper format in a particular table. So now what we can do here, we will use here the text to column option. So first of all, you have to select all this record. You don't have to select only one cell, A1 cell, but you have to select all the record. So what you can do, you can put your pointer over here. You can select this cell A1, and then after selecting A1 cell, then what we have to do, we have to press Control A, Control plus A shortcut. So I press Control plus A. We can see that all these records are selected. There are total 20 records. So after selecting all these records, we go to the data tab. As we know in the previous video that we go to the data tab. In the data tab, we click this button here known as text to columns. So I click this button text to columns, and now here we are having this wizard that is for the text to column. So as we have seen in the previous video, here we have to select either delimited or fixed width. Now in our case, we'll be using here delimited, because what is our delimiter here? The delimiter here, it is comma, because see, after every one particular information there is a comma, and that's why it is known as comma separated value file. So we'll go with the delimited option here. Then I click here next button. After selecting this next, now we have to select here that what is our delimiter. So our delimiter is comma. So I put here comma. I remove this other because here we don't have at the rate. We have here comma. So after selecting comma here as the delimiter, now you can see that we are having these various columns. You can see as a preview. And now after seeing this preview, we go to the next option. And now here we are having the columns. And now I can decide that what should be the data type of each of the column. Just now we'll keep it everywhere general. And now after doing this thing, we have to also select the destination. So by default, the destination here, it is $A, $1. That is this cell, first cell. So I'll keep it the same. And after that, I click on the finish button. Now, before you click on the finish button, suppose if you want to change the destination, you can change the destination by clicking this arrow sign here. And then here I can select, let's say, M1 cell. If the table should start from M1, I can select here M1, and then it can show all the columns starting from that M1 cell. But I don't want to select here M1. I'll be selecting here A1 cell, the original cell. And after I select here A1, in this dialog box, I'll click this down arrow button, and now I'm back in the wizard. So here now my destination is equal to $A, $1. Now I click on finish button. So here we can see the proper columns. So we are having here employee ID, first name, last name, gender, role, department, experience, country, continent, salary, employee rating, and manager ID. Now see, some of the columns we are not able to see all those values. So what you can do, that either you can go to each of the column. Let's say I'm not able to see all these roles here, then I can go to this column, and now I can click over here. Yeah, between the E and F there is a area here. I double click. When I double click, now you can see that that column has expanded. Now suppose if you want to do for all the columns like this, then simply you have to select all these columns from A to L, and then here after this L, means between L and M, I have to double click here, and now you see that all columns have expanded together. So these are the various shortcuts which are having here. So now I can do all the formatting because now it is in Excel. I'm having various columns, so I can select all these titles here. I can make it here bold. I can also increase the size of the title. So now all these things are possible. So see, this is how we bring the CSV file into Excel and then we convert that CSV file into a proper Excel table. This was the practical example. Now we'll save this file. So I will click on File, Save As, Browse, and then here I'll give the same name, Employee DB. Now here I have to select the type of the file. So instead of CSV, I will click it, and now after clicking this drop down, I will select here the first option. In my case, it is Excel Workbook. So I select here Excel Workbook. So I click on Save, and now my file is saved. I have closed the file, and now you can see that we are having here the Microsoft Excel worksheet. So here you can see the size of both the files. The normal CSV file, its size is just 2 KB, and the Excel file that we created just now, you see the size, it is 12 KB. So little bit this file size has increased. So normally this will always be there, that whatever the file size you have for the CSV, and then when you convert the CSV into an Excel file, the Excel file will be always bigger. So this is also one of the limitation of Excel. In case of CSV, even though we have many records, but still the file size will be smaller compared to the Microsoft Excel. That's why people are more using CSV file, okay, especially for the data storage. And CSV is also having one limitation, that in CSV, I cannot create various sheets. Just like in Excel, we have various sheets like sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4, and in all the sheets I can put the data. But in the CSV file, I'm having only one window for that notepad, and in that one window, I can create one table only. So this is also the major difference between the CSV file and the Excel file. So now friends, in the next video, we'll be talking about the various kinds of flash fill and the advanced filling. So see you in the next video. Thank you very much.